Hey guys, it's Chris here once again, and I'm ready to do another Blu-ray update for my channel. I know I randomly do these things. I don't do them all the time. Sometimes I just forget. Sometimes I put stuff up on the shelf and then forget what I got. So this time I actually have a bunch of stuff here to go through to show you guys and talk a little bit about each one of them. So first off is I did pick up a couple Scream Factory titles from our local FYE store, and they were on discount they were $19.99 each. So I got Silver Bullet, and my wife really loves this movie. This is one of her favorite type of werewolf movies, and it's pretty good. It's got Corey Haim in it. It's not the best werewolf movie that I like, but it is a pretty good werewolf film. Then next up, I picked up The Blob. This is the remake. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I like the original film as well, but this remake, the practical effects done with this is just so good. And the little boy that plays in this one, he's also in Return of the Living Dead Part 2. And that's also one of my favorites as well, so that's another reason why I like this. But The Blob from Scream Factory. Then, from that, my wife picked up, now this is actually a funny story. She called me and she said, I got you a Blu-ray set of movies that we don't have yet. So I was like, oh, cool, what is it? And she's like, well, I don't want to ruin it for you, so we'll wait till we get home. So she was like, we got home, and she showed me, she's like, I got you It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. And then I started looking at it, and I was like, nope, it's not both films. This is a kind of a really stupid box, and I don't like the way they did this because it is kind of misleading, because it does say 2-film collection on there. And however, it is only the Blu-ray of the first It Chapter 1. It Chapter 2 is for a digital download only. There's no DVD, there's no Blu-ray, there's nothing related to It Chapter 2 except for a digital download. And that is very misleading because most people, when you look at it, you see 2-film collection, you don't think 2 films aren't in there. So I just don't like it. My wife, she was really mad whenever I told her about it because she thought she really got 2 films, but she didn't. We only got It Chapter 1, so still keeping it because I still need Chapter 1 anyways. So now I just got to find Chapter 2. Then we picked up, randomly here, we picked up Dark Was the Night and The Shallows. These were 2 movies that I think we're out and about somewhere and we ended up seeing them for really cheap. So we picked those up, and I've never seen either of these. I know a little bit about this one, but I don't know anything about this movie. So looking forward to watching both of these sometime down the road. Then a friend of mine, he posted on Facebook that he had a stack of movies that were Blu-rays that he no longer needed. He was just getting rid of them. Didn't want anything for them. He just needed them. He needed more space on his shelves, so he was getting rid of these movies. And I was like, okay, well, I need one of these is an obvious choice. So one of these listed was Critters. And as most of you know, I collect everything Critters related. So I was like, no matter what it is, I have to pick it up. So he listed it just as Critters, and I was like, oh, that's mine, I'm taking it. So he was like, sure, just swing by and I'll pick it up, or you can pick it up from me and you can have it. And I was like, well, if nobody claims the other ones, I'll take those too. So nobody else had claimed the movies that he was giving away for free, which I don't know why. But I said, I will gladly take those off your hands if you're still willing to give them away. And he said, yeah, sure. So he gave me the Blue Underground Blu-ray of Maniac. Only have this movie on DVD, so this is a good upgrade for me. Really looking forward to watching the Blu-ray version of this. The movie it's okay. There's some really good special effects in this one, especially like Tom Savini gunshot sequence. That's really good. I like to see this in HD. Then we have Two Evil Eyes and an anthology movies. I love anthologies. My favorite subgenre besides like creature features and stuff. But love this movie as well. I think it's really, really good. Looking forward to upgrade this. I think I have this on DVD. I'd have to double check. I think I actually might have gotten the Blu-ray a couple years ago, but I don't remember. I don't know if I have the Blue Underground release or a different release. I'm not sure. Then we have The Entity, and this is a Anchor Bay release. And I think there was a Scream Factory release that came out of this. Don't quote me on this because I'm not 100% sure, but I think there is a Scream Factory release of this that I would love to get down the road sometime and upgrade to that. But as right now, all I have is a DVD-R bootleg copy of this movie because it was never released on DVD before. So when it came out on Blu-ray, I never did take the chance to upgrade to it. I don't know why, I just never did. So this is The Entity. Next is another Blue Underground movie, one that I've never seen before. I've always wanted it in my collection. I just never have had a chance to pick it up. And that is The New York Ripper. So it is a Lucio Fulci film. Lucio Fulci is a classic horror director, and it's just one of the movies I've never seen of his. So I'm looking forward to check it out. I know that it has to deal with some type of killer who wears a duck mask, and that's pretty much all I know. So looking forward to watching this one. With that, I have a box of movies here now. These are Blu-rays. And I did a trade online with somebody, and we traded out. I traded a bunch of VHS tapes for some Blu-rays, and I gave him 2 really big boxes full of VHS tapes, and he traded a bunch of Blu-rays that he no longer needed. So the first one here is the Slaughterhouse 5 Arrow release. And I don't know anything about this movie. I've heard the title before, but I've never seen it. But it is an Arrow release, so it's going to go up on the shelf with my Arrow films. Then we have The Ward, the John Carpenter movie. I think this is the last movie that John Carpenter directed. I don't think he did anything after this one, but so far at least. Never seen it yet, so John Carpenter's The Ward. Then we have the Night of the Living Dead, the Criterion release. I do already have this movie on Blu-ray, but I don't have the Criterion release. I think the kind I have is a Mill Creek release. So picking up a Criterion version is always a superior version than anything Mill Creek related. So definitely looking forward to adding this one into my collection. Then a Scorpion releasing of The Church, another movie I've never seen before. Out of all these movies I have in my basement down here, I keep going through all movies I've never seen, but The Church. So I've heard good things about it, and I like Scorpion releasing. They usually have pretty good titles and really good releases. So The Church. Then another Scorpion releasing is The Sect, and this one is a Dario Argento movie. Another one I've never seen. So looking forward to checking this out. So every October I usually do a 31 horror movies I've never seen in 31 days. Maybe a bunch of these titles will be watched during that time period this coming October. So if I haven't watched them yet by then. Then we have another Scorpion releasing, and this one is Opera. And I've always enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really good, especially the scenes where the eyes are, I don't like stuff with my eyes, like it bothers me. So to see scenes like that where somebody has these little razor blades and stuff toward their eyes, it really kind of affected me. Just cringeworthy, that's what it was. Always really liked this movie, thought it was pretty good. So looking forward to upgrading this one from my DVD collection to Blu-ray. So Dario Argento's Opera. Then I have a Warner Archive release, and this is From Beyond the Grave. I think it's an anthology film. I haven't really looked too much into it, but I'm pretty sure it's popped up before whenever I've looked at anthology movies online. And it's a Warner Archive. I hardly ever buy from Warner Archive's website. I don't know why. They're really expensive sometimes, unless you get really good sales or you get review copies in and stuff. So I never did pick this up because of that, but that's From Beyond the Grave. Next up is another Warner Archive collection. This one is The Hidden. Again, another movie that I've never seen. That's one reason why I picked a lot of these titles up, is because I haven't seen them before. So The Hidden, Warner Archive. Then we have another Warner Archive release, and it is Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was very creepy, very atmospheric. One of the better of the made-for-TV movies back from that time period. I had this on like a bootleg copy DVD until this came out. Just never had a chance to pick it up, again, because it was Warner Archive. But now I'm finally getting to upgrade to it. So next up is a newer movie that came out recently, and that is Countdown. And I've never seen it in theaters, so I don't really know much about it, except on the back of it, it says jump scares are around every corner. So this is not very promising at all. I'm not a big fan of jump scares. I like movies that are scary based on atmosphere and based on the imagery that you see, not based on jump scares. But who knows? It could be fun. It could be an interesting movie. It could be just a cool little, kill 'em off slasher-esque type movie. Who knows? But that is Countdown. Then we have another, this is a low budget movie. I've never heard of this company before, but it's called New Dynamic Pictures, from 2019, and it is Scarecrow County. Don't know anything about this movie at all. Nothing whatsoever. Never seen it before. Never heard of it before. Nothing. Never even heard of the company. It says reap what you sow. Small town librarian is gifted the lost diary of a dead teenager, exposing long buried secrets as a murderous scarecrow stalks the streets. So who knows? Maybe it's good. Then we have The World's End. This is the Simon Pegg movie that was like kind of like the third. They were calling it really the third movie in the franchise of Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. The first time I watched this movie, the first 30 minutes of this I did not like. I thought this was going to be the dumbest, most boring movie ever made. And then after about like the 30-minute marker, something happens and it becomes this awesome, amazing movie. It's hilarious from the rest of the time period. And I thoroughly enjoyed it because of that. But again, the first 30 minutes just really wasn't that good until it hits that certain spot. But The World's End. And the last thing I have here to go over is the Chucky collection. It's got Child's Play 1, 2, 3, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, and The Curse of Chucky. And now I have the first Child's Play movie on Blu-ray already. I have Seed of Chucky and I have Curse of Chucky on Blu-ray as well. But I didn't have 2, 3, a Bride. And so I just picked, I know that there's a newer set that has the Cult of Chucky on there too. But since this was part of a trade, I needed part 2, part 3, and Bride on Blu-ray. So I thought I might as well go ahead and get this as part of the trade so that I can already have those movies on Blu-ray and upgrade. So that's one reason why I got this one. I'm looking forward to checking those sequels out onto high def because all I have is the DVD right now. So really cool set. It's got all the bonus features and stuff with it as well. So really cool. So that is it, guys. That is all of the Blu-rays and stuff that I've gotten. And just let me know what you guys think about these movies. If you like them, if you have seen them, if you're interested in them like I am, and if there's anything that I should check out first, let me know. Just let me know what your thoughts are on them, guys. So thanks for watching, guys. See ya.